Good morning and welcome back to the 2017 USBC Senior Queens taking place at Circle Bowl in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I am not Emil Williams Jr. I am Aaron Smith with USBC Communications. But thanks for joining, Tyrone. Appreciate it. As always, this is round 3 of 3 for qualifying, so 5 more games to go till we know our 32 competitors for the double elimination match play bracket. We know one of them for sure, defending champion USBC and PWBA Hall of Famer Robin Romeo, who's won this event the past 3 years, is automatically placed into the top 32 for the bracket. She can improve her seeding, however, through qualifying. Has been doing pretty well so far to start, so we'll get you a recap of not only how day one went. We had the first 2 rounds, 10 games in the books, 5 more to go before match play. Get a rundown of our competitors. Look at the standings for right now. Welcome to Bowl TV. Welcome to Baton Rouge. Just an awesome host. Really enjoyed our time here between the USBC Women's Championships, the Queens, which just finished up a few days ago. Great city, great food, great hospitality. Now we get some great bowling. So settle in and welcome to Bowl TV. Good morning. This is the second look at the fresh 40-foot condition used this week. After starting off yesterday's first 5-game block. 40 feet in length, 25.75 mils for the volume using the Kegel Prodigy oil. Big thanks to Kegel, the official lane maintenance provider here for the USBC Senior Queens, as well as all USBC championship events. They're also a gold industry partner, along with Columbia 300, Hammer, and Storm. So big thanks to all of them for their continued support to help grow a future for the sport. So the first 5 games were on the fresh yesterday. Second block was on the burn, so saw some scores jump up a little bit, but still pretty tough overall. Taking a look at the standings, we actually have our leader after 2 rounds, Lucy Sandlin, the USBC Hall of Famer and 2-time Senior Queens champion out of Tampa, Florida. She's going to be stepping up here in a moment on lane 22. So if you didn't watch yesterday, we do realize the scoreboards are doing their thing there. Not much we can do about that. But to follow the players along, obviously A, B, C, and D up there. So just whenever your favorite player is up and bowling, so Lucy there and delivering the strike, and she is player D. So wherever the blue line is, it follows, that's who's up, and they switch sides obviously. So you see C and D now on the left on lane 21. But Lucy leading the way after 10 at -14. So that's a 1986 10-game total, a 198.6 average. The plus and minus system, if you're unfamiliar, the score of 200 is considered par. So if you shot 200 on the nose, you would be even essentially. If you shot 205, you would be +5. If you shot 195, you would be -5. Sitting in second is Regina Aboud, who is our leader after the opening round. Out of San Jose, California at -17. Christy Witcher from Belfair, Washington in third place after 10 games, -30. Debbie Ayers, who's on our featured pair at the moment, has some work to do on the 3, 6, 7, 10. Debbie actually had the biggest second round block, actually just got awarded for that performance. 1036 to get her to -33 overall, sitting in fourth. And our back-to-back-to-back champion, Robin Romeo, Hall of Famer out of New Hall, California, sits in fifth at -67. Rounding out the top 10, Sharon Powers of Lakewood, Colorado at -105. Nice cover by Debbie, taking care of it. Sitting in seventh place, Penny Fetterman from Sweet Home, Oregon, -117. Every time I see Sweet Home, I just want to say Chicago after that. Blues Brothers, a great movie if you've never had the opportunity. Sitting in eighth place, Beth Owen Chipolowski, excuse me. I asked about that yesterday, so I better get it right. Out of Bradenton, Florida, -131. Ninth place, Carol Teal from the Villages, Florida, -136. And rounding out the top 10, USBC Hall of Famer Tish Johnson, Colorado Springs, Colorado, -142. Of course, the all-important cut number. So we're looking at 32nd place right now. Belongs to Dawn Leonard of Virginia Beach, Virginia, at -274, a 172.6 average. Definitely a lot of moving and shaking can happen in the standings today. A few big games will quickly get you there. Definitely a bit of a sprint to the finish line. I talked about a few of our competitors. Let's meet the rest on our featured pair. Over on 19, up at the moment, we have Carmen Aguilar from St. Petersburg, Florida. She's teamed up with Dawn Leonard. You just mentioned the cut coming into today. Dawn, once again, Virginia Beach, Virginia. Also on the pair, will be up in a moment on 19, Lynn Lucy from Mosinee, Wisconsin. She's joined by Karen Coffey at Rio Rancho, New Mexico. We mentioned Lucy and Debbie on 21 and 22. Joined by a pair of bowlers out of the Pelican State, Judy Vogel up on lane 21 out of Slidell, Louisiana. And Judith LaRue stepping up on 22 in a moment. All right, looking into the chat, a few people seems like they're having issues. Everything checking out here on site, so I'm not 100% sure. More folks are having problems, please let us know. I'm checking on the phone, on the computer, and live stream is up and running with no issues here. Good morning, Ami. Amiguera just joining us from the Dominican Republic. Recently competed at the USBC Queens as well as the USBC Women's Championships. Thanks for joining us. Thanks to everybody for joining us here bright and early on a Thursday morning. Thanks for a few of the reports. Hi, Fran. Fran Deacon, Hall of Famer, joining us as well. Got celebrities everywhere here on Bowl TV. Lucy Sandlin, our opening round, or I should say, opening day leader. Off to the races here in the early going. Sparing the first next 6 for the Hall of Famer. Making quick work at this 40-foot condition. Karen Coffey getting the hit in frame number 8. Got some issues on lane at 21. Staff here at Circle Bowl gonna be on top of it. Have a handful of past Senior Queens champions in the field. As we mentioned already, Robin Romeo has won the last 3 Senior Queens, including last year in Las Vegas at the Orleans. Went undefeated throughout match play to earn the top seed, and defeated fellow Hall of Famer Tish Johnson in the championship match. Definitely a good one to check it out on the archives on Bowl TV when you're done here a little bit later today. Lucy Sandlin on our feature pair, the 2007 and 2013 Senior Queens champion. Anne-Marie Dugan, winner in 2012. Paula Vidal in the field, the 2011 winner, as well as Shar Hamill, 2010. We also have a 2-time Senior Queens winner in attendance, not bowling though. Shirley Levins, Hall of Famer, checking out the action. Back in business on a 21, Lucy, after 6 in a row. Bucket with the biscuit, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8. Don't know if that's an official bowling term, but that's what we call it back in Northwest Indiana. So I'm going to do that here. Able to cover the biscuit portion, leaving the 7-pin. With a strong start regardless. Talking to Lucy a little bit yesterday, and just kind of looking at the scoring pace, you know, she's accomplished quite so much in this sport, and kind of knew what was ahead of her. It was going to be tough the rest of the way out, so more of a grind. Knew she had to take advantage when she would find a look like this, and has certainly done so to this point. Can still strike out for 253. But definitely got to be some confidence looking ahead to later today, knowing you can find something on the fresh. Opening round of match play will begin at 1 p.m. Eastern, noon local time, here in Baton Rouge and right here on Bowl TV. Judy Vogel mixing them up. finishing up on 19 and 20 with that brief delay on 21 and 22. So they're just starting their foundation frame. Dawn Leonard going to have a nice 200 on the nose. Kick things off. Once again, she was the cut number, so we'll kind of follow that as we progress throughout the day. But 200, definitely a nice start. Don't give any pins back to the field. Debbie Ayers taking care of the single pin. Get to 156. She had a rotator cuff surgery last year, so still trying to get back to 100%, but getting closer and closer every day. She competed at the USBC Queens, as well as a few PWBA Tour stops in the early portion of the 2017 season. Here's Sandlin's first shot of the 10th. 4-pin. Falling over this time. Get to 243 still. She's going to get to plus after this game, regardless of what happens on this next shot. Gets that one a little bit further right. Maybe trying something different. Seeing what the look is like. Comes in light, leaves the 2. With the spare 233. That would put her at plus at 19. So scores updating pretty quickly after each game, so as soon as we know them, we'll let you know. We have a link to the round 3 standings in the description below the video. I wouldn't click on it yet. because round 3 has not been loaded yet. Just a placeholder at the moment. So it will be available there, or you can visit bowl.com/Senior Queens. All right, game 1 in the books. Players moving around, getting ready for game 2. Once again, total of 5 games left of qualifying before we know our participants for the double elimination match play bracket. So once again, big thanks to everyone for joining us, not only now, but hopefully throughout competition. As we wait for our competitors, everybody settle in, get ready for game 2 here on Bowl TV for the 2017 USBC Senior Queens, taking place at Circle Bowl in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. We'll be right back. All right. Around that time I told you not to click on that link for round 3 standings because it hasn't been loaded yet. Well, you can do so now. Scores are updated through game 1 today, game 11 overall for qualifying here at the Senior Queens. Lucy Sandlin, we saw 233 in the opener, pushed her to plus 19. She is now leading, or continues to lead, excuse me. She's ahead of Regina Abood. Shot 209 to get to minus 8. Christy Witcher holds on to that 3rd spot at minus 32, and Robin Romeo and Debbie Ayers Tied for fourth at -77. We didn't have competitors move too far this first game, so we're seeing some familiar faces, but also welcoming in a few new bowlers. So we see Carmen and Dawn on 21 and 22 after they were on 19 and 20. And we see Debbie and Judy after they were on 21 and 22 going to 19 and 20. We have June Shimoda of Fresno, California, and Karen Bargle of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Move into the featured pairs on 21 and 22. There's June up there looking to clean up the 2-pin. Karen will, almost lost my paperwork there, will follow afterwards. And on 19 and 20, we welcome Sharon Ryan of Davie, Florida, and USBC Hall of Famer Anne-Marie Dugan, 2012 Senior Queens champion. Up on lane 20, timeless form and delivery and tripping fours. AMD rounding out the top 10 at the moment at -158. Cut line after one game has changed to -301. So we saw Dawn Leonard was the cut at 274 under. She actually moved up a few spots, going par. She's up to 27th. Pretty cool story about Sharon Ryan, who's going to be stepping up for frame number 4. Sharon had been planning to bowl the Senior Queens this year, but also wanted to check out a little bit more about the sport. So she became a subscriber of the Core. By doing so, she was selected as our Core Experience winner for the 2017 USBC Queens, which just took place here in Baton Rouge, but the core gives bowling fans exclusive access to breaking news, behind-the-scenes content, and personalized engagement with some of the top players in the world. And by signing up, Sharon was entered into a contest and was able to fly out a little bit early, get VIP treatment at the USBC Queens. Got to see the TV trucks and kind of the process of how shows go from taping to CBS Sports Network. Got to sit front row for the show. Just a reminder about that Queen show, going to be re-airing tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern on CBS Sports Network, but Sharon and her husband made their way out to Baton Rouge. Got to do the full experience. Sharon had known all the players already, so kind of a cool reunion. To learn a little bit more about the core, you can visit bowl.com/the core. Find out what it's all about. Nice shot there from June. Karen Barkle.
You guys got to be freezing.
Made a run.
At least we're moving a little bit.
Into the stepladder finals last year in Las Vegas. And slow fall and strike there, but equally as effective. Got that light mixer, but they kind of fell a little slow. That's okay though, as long as they fall. That's all that matters. Karen once again out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. We'll see if she can make another run to the stepladder finals, which will air right here on Bowl TV tomorrow night live, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 Central, local time here in Baton Rouge. If you're in the area, swing on by. We got seats. Kitchen's open. Got some good food here. Staff at Circle Bowl, very accommodating. Big thanks to them for their support. For those of you maybe tuning in for the first time, Circle Bowl is a 32-lane center, split with 16 lanes on one side and 16 lanes on the other. So that would explain why lane 17 looks like kind of the first lane to start with. Has that little walkway there because it is the first lane for this particular side. When you walk in, lanes 1 through 16 are to the left, 17 through 32 to the right, so pretty quick to get around. Another something keeping the competitors on their toes. Noting different characteristics, perhaps from one side to the other. Obviously, each pair has its own unique footprint. Nice shot there from Sharon, sending 10 back. Definitely a cool little center here. Great, as I mentioned a few times, great staff, very helpful, making sure we're all accommodated and ready to go here on Bold TV. But definitely a cool look to the place. Masking units, one of a kind. Definitely get that full feel of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, and New Orleans. Got the Jazz up there, Mardi Gras, a few other historical landmarks, crawfish. Just talked a little bit yesterday about the dining experiences here. Just no negative comments about the food selection available here. Definitely took me out of my comfort zone a little bit. Taste buds definitely have gotten a workout over the past 10+ days. So if you're making your way out to Baton Rouge, perhaps for the USBC Women's Championships, trip 2 there for Debbie, definitely take advantage of the local cuisine. Pin's not cooperating with Carmen there. Put that 4-5 a little bit closer. Just needs to catch the left side of the 5-pin. We'll be all right on that conversion. So I mentioned Anne-Marie stepping up on 20, USBC Hall of Famer. Also a member of the PWBA Hall of Fame. It's the 1994 PWBA Player of the Year. Capturing a few titles, including the USBC Queens. A 15-time PWBA titleist. We have greetings from Finland. Well, welcome. We've gone international today. All right, Ami joining us a little bit earlier from the Dominican Republic. So welcome. Again, we mentioned Debbie Ayers had the highest second round total, so she actually received the high round qualifying award given to each of the players who leads around. Regina Aboud led the first 5 games. She's actually one pair to our right. Bowling with our overall leader, Lucy Sandlin. They're actually 1-2 in the standings right now. Hi, Dan. Emil is not here, so I do not know his tee situation, but hopefully he's taking a little bit of time off after joining us for the USBC Queens. He's getting some rest. Karen takes care of the baby split in the 8th frame. It's kind of been the theme so far this week. When you have a look, you gotta take advantage of it, but definitely a definitely an opportunity to take advantage of clean games as well and not give too many makeable spares away. Only one player plus through 11 games. Scored 200, looking pretty good. Great shot to kick off the 10th for Sharon Ryan. She can get to 189. All 3 in the 10th for Sharon. Get to 189. Once we get to bracket play, once again starting up at 1 p.m. Eastern here on Bowl TV. Those matches will be 3 games with total pinfall determining who's moving on and who is moving to the elimination bracket. Of course, with double elimination, get the opportunity to bounce back if you have a match not go your way. And the stepladder finals also features a double elimination format for the top seeds. So even though the format changes to 1-game matches for the stepladder, the top seed who would have gone undefeated to earn that distinction would have to lose twice in the finals. So once again, we'll see that live Bowl TV tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. .195, Anne-Marie Dugan finishes up. All done on 19 and 20. 10th frame still to go on 21 and 22. Competitors moving fairly quickly across this 32-lane center. All right, Carmen and Karen will wrap things up. Karen asking for that one to hook a little bit. Does not make it all the way back, leaves the washout. Carmen comes in a little light as well. 278. Oh. Did everything you wanted to do there except have the head pin connect. Sends it right around. So that's going to do it for game number 2. Here in the final round of qualifying at the 2017 USBC Senior Queens. Game 3 coming up next. Edging closer and closer to the conclusion of qualifying. We'll know our top overall seed, as well as a look at the bracket. So that and more coming up throughout the day. We'll have a look at that bracket very, very soon. Of course, Robin Romeo guaranteed a spot. Can improve upon it based off of qualifying, and she's done that up to this point. Was tied for 4th heading into this previous game. Competitors moving around. We'll be ready for Game 3 in just a moment here on Bowl TV. Thanks again for keeping us company and supporting some of the top female bowlers, ages 50 and above. They certainly appreciate it. So do we. So hang tight. Game 3, final round qualifying 2017 as Senior Queens, coming up next here on Bowl TV. As we settle into game number 3, the final block of qualifying here at the 2017 USBC Senior Queens. We do have an updated standing sheet after a total of 12 qualifying games. 10 yesterday and 2 so far in the books today. Lucy Sandlin still leading, but dropped that number a little bit. Shot 180 last game, so she is at -1. 23.99 for her 12-game total. Christy Witcher moves into second place at -47. Regina Aboud drops to third at -66. Robin Romeo, the 2014, 2015, and 2016 Senior Queens champion, who's joined us here on Bowl TV, is fourth, all on her own this game at -82. Debbie Ayers moves into fifth at -100. Tish Johnson is bumped up a few spots. Hall of Famer at -139. Karen Powers in 7th place at -154. Anne-Marie Dugan, -163. We saw Anne-Marie last game. The 2012 Senior Queens champion Carol Teal in 9th place, and on our feature pair on 21 and 22 in 9th place, -166, and Char Hamill has moved into 10th, 2010 champion at -183. Char's been pretty consistent over the last 5-6 games or so. Kind of found something at the end of the block yesterday and has continued that momentum on today as she has moved up the standings quite a bit. Now making her first trip to the top 10. Looking at the cut number at the moment, -344 for that 32nd spot. Lizette Aboud from Panama, current holder of that number, 171 average. First player out at the moment, Ann Sperling, -348. So plenty of time to move around in the standings. One big game can really solidify or move someone into that top 32. Talked about Carol being in the top 10. She is up on lane at 21 right now. Also joined by Mandy Wilson, Velma Watson, and Melanie McAllister. We got to see Mandy and Velma yesterday, along with Robin Romeo. We also have Karen Whiteside. We'll be up on lane 19 in a moment. Linda Andrews and Adissa Andrade from Panama. Adissa finding some trouble there in frame number 4 after the double, leaving the Greek church. Carol Teal has had the opportunity to represent the United States at the Tournament of the Americas in previous years. She's taken home some gold medals competition. Nice shot there from Mandy Wilson. Long-time name on the PWBA Tour. Mandy Wilson also had the opportunity to represent the United States as a member of Team USA in 1991, 1992, 1990, 91, 92, and 1994. There's the adjustment after back-to-back splits for Adissa. Back on the strike train. Looks like Robin is getting a little bit more comfortable throughout the qualifying process once again. Didn't have to worry about making it to match play. Already has spots, so she would have the opportunity to try a few things out. Really didn't want to think too much about possibly winning 4 in a row. Obviously would be a first. She was the first player to win 3 in a row. But a 4th win would give her the most all-time titles at the event. Fellow Hall of Famer Sandy Postma, the only other 3-time winner of the event. It's a nice shot there from Velma. Joining us from Chicago. Sending the 10 back right there. Robin said, chatted a little bit before the start of the event, and the preview we had on bowl.com had been working on her footwork. There we go. Shouldn't be that difficult of a word to say, but in her swing with a few renowned coaches, Mark Baker, Mike Jasnow. Had been staying sharp, a few local events, and stop on the PWBA tour. Another nice shot there from Mandy. He's getting lined up on the left lane. Melanie, no problem on the single pin. It's going to be a good shot for Karen. 10-pin does not cooperate, though. All pinfall will drop once we head to match play. So as we often hear, looks like we'll have to get lane at 21 back up. But as we hear when talking with the players, you know, obviously you want to find some momentum through qualifying. But it really doesn't matter where you qualify. It's just a matter of making it to the dance. And from there, anything can happen. And what's going on around you really, really irrelevant to a point. This format, you can see players win matches with 530, 540. And then a pair over, you can see a player lose a match shooting 660, 670. So we have lights. We have the rack coming down. By all accounts, we'll have pins next. There they are. All right, back in business on 21. Great shot there from Adissa. She is inside the cut number at the moment. Currently in 25th place at minus 275, so big finish here would put her in pretty solid shape. Mandy Wilson with the double. Sitting in 18th, I believe. Yep, 18th. Actually tied for 18th. Minus 234. Double to set the 10th for Robin Romeo. A 17-time PWBA Tour titleist. Mel gets her first strike here in game 3 in the 9th. Can add 3 more for 175. Say looking ahead to game 4. Looks like Pam Lawrence will be on 19 and 20. Mailing Billingsley and Cheryl Kessler on 21 and 22. Also on 19 and 20, Neriata Mock and Guadalupe Coparopa from Panama, and Michelle Carter and Lynn Minning. So those are our groups in the upcoming game. Still unfinished business here in game 3. Mandy Wilson and another strike. Can get to 236. Velma delivers, kick off the 10th. 191 still out there for her. Linda Andrews getting lined up on 20. Come on, 7-pin. Robin Romeo looking ready to make another run here. 235 still out there. Romeo delivers the double, going to be in the 230s. Dissa working on a double. Gonna hustle back, mix them up. 4-pin left standing. Nice finish there from Velma, representing Chicago. Delivering all three in the 10th for 191. Just 2 games to go after we wrap up here. 13 games will be in the books. There's really a lot to be undecided still. Player can get lined up who may be out of the cut heading into that final game, with the scoring pace being a little bit lower. Can definitely. Oh. Did not catch a 7-pin there. Scoring pace, with it being what it is, big game can really move you up a lot of spots. Oh. Trouble on the second shot in the 10th for Mandy Wilson, but the first one, the important one in that grouping, going to be in the 220s. .222, the official tally. So players moving around. We'll be ready for game number 4 in just a moment. Competitors moving around. It'll be go time before you know it. So hang tight. Game 4 of the 2017 USBC Queens round 3 of qualifying coming up next here on Bowl TV. We're at Circuit Bowl in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I'm Aaron Smith with USBC Communications. Big thanks to everyone for joining us and for their continued support of this event. Of course, our gold sponsors, Columbia 300, Hammer, Kegel, and Storm. We appreciate their continued support to help build a future for the sport. 2 to go before we know our double play, or our double elimination match play contestants. All right, get comfortable, hang tight here on Bowl TV. Settled into game number 4 at the 2017 USBC Senior Queens final round of qualifying at Circle Bowl in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. We have scores through 13 total games, 3 today. Lucy Sandland, two-time champion here, continues to lead, minus 24. So after the big 233 to start here on Bowl TV, games at 180 and 177 for the Hall of Famer sitting in second place. Got to see her last game. Our winner the last 3 times at this event, Robin Romeo, also Hall of Famer, minus 51. Christy Witcher and Regina Aboud tied at minus 66 for third. Debbie Ayers in fifth place, minus 119. Tish Johnson moves up to sixth, minus 135. Sharon Powers in seventh, minus 158. Christina Niles making it back into the top 10 at minus 169. And Karen Barkle in ninth at minus 188. And Anne-Marie Dugan rounds out the top 10 at 198 under. Mandy Wilson, who we saw last game, 222, moved up into 11th place. And looking at that cut number, as we like to do, currently belongs to Michelle Carter, who's on our feature pair. Michelle at minus 355, 1 pin behind Lisa Wasson, who's in 31st. First player out at the moment, Lizette Aboud from Panama, minus 367. Michelle, past champion at the National Golden Ladies. Gave a rundown of who was heading over here a little bit ago, but now that we're all together and on the lanes, just had Pam Lawrence cleaning up the 10 pin over there on lane 20. It is Guadalupe Cobaropa up on 19. We'll see Nariata Mock coming up on 20 next. Both of them joining us from Panama. I have a handful of competitors joining us from Panama, so excellent to see them. I believe all our first timers at the Senior Queens. That was Mei Ling Billingsley, I believe in the 8 pin on 22. Lynn Minning will be up next on 21. I mentioned Michelle Carter already, the cut number at the moment. Their fourth, Cheryl Kessler. If you want to find out a little bit more about the USBC Senior Queens, be sure to visit bowl.com/Senior Queens. It's got everything you need to know about the event, rules, schedule, prize fund, roster, standings and more. Got a link below in the video description area if you're not watching on full screen. Let's take a look at where our featured competitors are at the moment. Michelle Carter, the cut number, -355. Pam Lawrence, or a 19 and 20, is in 23rd place at -288. Michelle Kessler at -236 in 16th. Maylene Billingsley joining us from Lee's Summit, Missouri. One spot ahead of her, 15th at -226. Neriada Mock, can't forget her, in 27th at -317. So our other players outside of the cut number at the moment. Lynn Minning at -425 in 39th. She's about 70 pins out. Guadalupe, 49th place at the moment. Nice shot, Cheryl. Kicking the 10 out. Good shot by Mei Ling there, but 6-pin doesn't do its job. And good shot from Pan. Come on, 4-pin. Lin mixes them up. Just a reminder, we'll have coverage throughout the day for match play here on Bold TV. We will re-oil after this squad finishes up. Cheryl makes it a double. So I'll have the winner's bracket go in. Actually, I have the first 2 rounds of the winner's bracket coming up at 1 p.m. Eastern and 3 p.m. Eastern. So that second round will be on the burn. Then we'll conclude the day with a few elimination bracket matches. Great shot. Questionable result for Pam Lawrence there. Can't throw it much better than that, and get to look at an 8-pin. Question in the chat from Gabriel, what's the pattern? You can find it, or if you want to see the graph itself, it's at bowl.com/Senior Queens on the information page. But the stats, if you will, 40 feet in length, 25.75 mils on the volume. We're using the Kegel Prodigy oil. Cheryl Kessler getting lined up 3 in a row here in game 4 of 5. Mock with the 7-pin conversion. Strikes have been a little tough to come by on 19 and 20 this game, but gotta be filling frames. Neri and Pam looking to stay in the number. All right, bowling fans, Tish Johnson going to be coming on next game. Saw her right there on screen for a quick second, bringing some equipment over. So looks like the USBC and PWBA Hall of Famer going to be showing us how it's done here on Bowl TV coming up next. '21 and '22. It says it right there on the pairing sheet. Tish will be joined by Roseanne Costanzo from San Diego. Over on 19 and 20, we will have Jennifer Nelson and Lizette Aboud. Let's see who we got on, or who else is joining us, I should say. Looks like on 19 and 20 as well, Jackie Wyckoff and Cindy Sutherland. And on 21 and 22, Melody Felton and 2011 champ, Paula Vidal. So there's our lineup. Again, big thanks to everyone for joining us here on Bowl TV. Let us know where you're watching from in the chat if you'd like. We've already gone international today. We even have Terry Bigham all the way from Arlington, Texas, checking in on me. So we definitely appreciate the continued support, as do these competitors. No 8-pin that time for Pam. Gets that first strike. Thrown some good shots there, but all 10 finally cooperate. All right. Let's see, we got Margaret from Atlanta, Chris from Houston, Muncie, Indiana represented, Rhinelander, Wisconsin, Corey, Corpus Christi, spent some time there, 2006 Open Championships was held there, Enterprise, Oklahoma, a few folks from California. And nothing quite like getting a lesson at the International Training and Research Center, also in Arlington, Texas. Lou Marquez and Rod Ross, two of the best in the game. Plus, a lot of cool technology there as well as As technology has improved, we've been able to make some of those additions over the years. Home with Team USA, Junior Team USA. Thanks for sharing the story in the chat, Corey. Lucy definitely one of the coolest ones out there. Always enjoy getting the opportunity to see her, chat with her for a little bit. Glad you enjoyed the experience as well. Hopefully we'll get to see you in Las Vegas next year. The Senior Queens heading back to the entertainment capital of the world. Time frame going to be moved up a little bit. Going to actually head to March in correlation with the National Golden Ladies. Both events, one after the other. Final few shots here of Game 4. We already gave you the rundown of some of our competitors coming this way in Game 5. We'll see them here shortly. Lynn converts the bucket, so she'll have one more shot, the chance to get to 155. Billingsley finishes up with 179. Cheryl Kessler can get to 205 with all three in the 10th. Question in the chat from Dennis. Lisa is actually one spot in the cut at the moment. She was in 31st place after 13 games. This is the end of game 14, so we'll have an updated look at the standings shortly. You can find those, though, by actually scrolling down just a little bit below the video in the description area. We have a link, or you can go to bowl.com/Senior Queens. But in that description, if you see something that says scores.bowl.com/2017 Senior Queens, that's the link we're talking about. Double for Cheryl. Going to be in the 200s. Well within the number at the moment. Going to be in good shape. Heading into the finale. 2:04 for Cheryl. That'll do it for Game 4. Game 5, final game of qualifying at the 2017 USBC Senior Queens coming up next here on Bowl TV. We are at Circle Bowl in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I'm Aaron Smith. We'll have continued coverage until the conclusion tomorrow night. When we have our stepladder finals, top 5 players from the double elimination match play bracket will square off in one-game matches until we hand out a tiara, some cash as well. Not actual cash, but you can get a check. Be here before you know it, but as we get ready for Game 5, once again, big thanks to everyone for joining us throughout the week. We hope to see you all the way until the end. But final game of qualifying coming up next. We'll get a look at the scores one more time as we settle in here on Bowl TV. We are here. Game 5 of 5, 15 of 15. Final round of qualifying, 2017 USBC Senior Queens. We have an update after 14 games as well. Lucy Sandlin holding on to that top spot overall. Currently at +9. Shot her second 233 of the day in game 4. The only competitor averaging more than 200. Through 14 games, Robin Romeo sits in second at -35. Robin's had a very consistent block today. Games of 190, 195, 213, and 216. Nice shot there from Tish. She's been known to throw those. Sitting in third, Regina Aboud from San Jose, California, -66. Christy Witcher sits in fourth, -110. Debbie Ayers in fifth, -113. Tish with the early three-bagger sitting in sixth place overall, -170. Beth Owen Chipolowski, -180 in seventh. And Marie Dugan, -191 in eighth. Christina Niles in ninth, -219. And Sharon Powers rounding out the top 10 at -220. Let's go to that 32nd spot. The names continue to change. But a lot can happen in this final game. Judith LaRue from here in Louisiana at -378, currently the number. Elise Wasson of Murphy, Texas, one spot ahead at -374 and 31st. Mary Mock from Panama, -357 and 30th. And Sperling of New Jersey, -356. Susan Condiff from California, -350 in 28th. Just outside the cut line in 33rd at Judy Vogel, -385. Cindy Sutherland on our featured pair at -390. 34th, Michelle Carter, -427. So a bit of a drop off at that point. Roseanne Costanza looking to cover up the spare. Gets them all the tumble in 21st place overall. -297. Melody Felton also in the cut number out of Colfax, Iowa, -315. I already mentioned Tish. Paula Vidal. Where is Paul? There's Paul. 17th place at -250. So we talked about 21 and 2. Let's talk about 19 and 20. Cindy Sutherland starting off with a double. Here's Lizzie Aboud on the left. Let's see where Lizzie's at. She's actually moved up a few spots. She was right around the cut earlier today, -341, looking to stay in the number. Another one of our players from Panama. I mentioned this Cindy Sutherland. 12 pins out of the cut at the moment. Jennifer Nelson also on our featured pair on 1920 from Menlo Park, California. Big start there for Cindy. Jennifer in 38th place at the moment, -453. And then Jackie Wyckoff, our fourth on 19 and 20. She's in a tie for 44th at the moment. Paula mixing them up. Great shot there from Lizzie. Looking to hold on to her spot. Nice start, 4 out of 5 for Tish. 25-time PWBA titleist. As Cindy gets the hit to make it 4 in a row. Looking to make her move. It's going to be a big start. Obviously, with the scoring pace being a little bit lower here throughout qualifying. Got to take advantage when you get a few strikes in a row. And in a position outside the number, just outside of it. The opportunity to vault up. Once again, more coverage of the 2017 Senior Queens coming up. A little bit later here, we'll have the opening round of match play right here behind lanes 19 through 22. Coming up at 1 p.m. Eastern. Noon local time. We certainly hope you can stick around for that, but if not, please remember that our shows do archive, so if you gotta get back to work perhaps, or just can't watch this next round or any of the rounds coming up, you can always check them out later. Here at youtube.com/BullTV. Of course, you can keep up with everything at the Sport of Bowling USBC Facebook page, at USBC on Twitter, and of course, bowl.com, your one-stop shop for everything USBC related. We are at Circle Bowl in Baton Rouge. Melody putting together a great opening half. here in the final game of qualifying. Paula gets him fighting up there, gets them all to fall. She's throwing haymakers. We mentioned the strong start for Cindy Sutherland. Getting her attempt to move on the right side of the cut line. We have a player over on 17 and 18 who started with a spare and followed up with 5 in a row. We'll have to figure out who that is. See if they're making a run or just solidifying a spot in the standings. Another great shot there from Lizzie. Struck the last 2 times in lane 20. Five out of 6, Cindy Sutherland. Striking when it gets down to business. All right, looks like it was Penny Fetterman who's making the run 5 in a row over on 17 and 18. She'll be up on lane 18 in a moment, so you'll get to at least get to see her at the end of the shot when she is releasing it. Penny well within the number.
Do you see an oil machine against the wall over there?
No, I have one mechanic.
Let's see where's Penny is at actually. Penny is in 18th. So she actually gave, has been given some pins back. This block had, but has been around the top 10. Now at minus 259, can gain some pins back real quick though. Though she's unable to strike in the 7th frame. little bit of trouble in the 7th frame for Sutherland. Greek Church minus the 10. Lizzie getting closer to locking up her spot in the top 32. 3 out of the last 4. Melody Felton striking on Bull TV 3 in a row. Still has a chance at 257. She can connect on a few more. Tish doing Tish things right there. No doubter. Sutherland looking to bounce back from the split in the 7th. Good shot. Unable to get the 7 to trip out though. Cindy Sutherland on a 2:15 pace right now. And with the way scores have been, that would be a pretty big jump. Of course, she would like to add a little bit more than that. Has a max at 235. Lizzie thought she was going to that 3-pin to get a little more steam over there, but cut it a little bit too thin. So open in the 8th. Roseanne Costanzo with the strike in frame 9. Time for the 10th frame. Melody Fulton working on 4 in a row. Has put together one of the best games we've seen on Bowl TV so far this week. Looking to finish it off the right way. 3 more strikes will get her to 257. Already well within the number. Definitely gotta boost the momentum and the confidence. Finishing off strong. Mixes them up. One more. Now in the 240s. Another nice shot from Tish there. Starts the 10th frame, can get to 226. Cindy Sutherland, foundation frame. She's gonna have a chance to get up the hill. 10-pin stands. It's gonna have a chance. Right in that same zone, but corner pits not doing their thing. 7-10 split, but Melody is going to be in the 240s regardless. Melody takes the 1, 244 to wrap up her qualifying. Gonna be coming back in a little over an hour for match play. Tish finishes with 216, clean 216. Shot there from Jennifer. Start her 10th frame. All 10 back for Paula to start the 10th frame. Question from Tyler in the chat. What is the age requirement? Have to be at least 50 years old by the first day of competition. So as we get our final few shots in here, just a reminder, keep an eye out on Bowl TV throughout the course of the day. Other than a few breaks in between, we'll be pretty much running nonstop. Next round, once again, 1 p.m. Eastern. That's the scheduled start time. If anything changes, we will let you know. That will be for the double elimination match play bracket. Matches are 3 games with total pinfall determining who advances and who heads to the elimination bracket. We'll start with a pair of winners round matches. So for those folks who are able to go 2-0, they're going to have the rest of the day off. So get the chance to rest up for the final day tomorrow. Get to enjoy some of the finer things Baton Rouge has to offer. Have themselves a nice tasty meal. Big performance here in game 15 from Cindy Sutherland. So it's 224 out there with 2 more in the 10th. Once again, we can only speculate, since I'm not sure where everyone else is finishing at. But she was 2 spots out of the cut, but just 12 pins away from the number heading into the final game. Scoring pace has been relatively low, so you gotta feel 214 might be enough if she gets a spare to move her up a spot or 2. She will have to wait and see. Made a lot of great shots this game. All right, we are all said and done here on Bowl TV for qualifying. Still a few pairs finish up the last few shots, but be sure to check out bowl.com/Senior Queens to see what the number ends up being. But we'll be back once again right around an hour scheduled start time for the next round. Double elimination match play bracket. So 15 in the books. We'll get to watch the rest of it unfold right here behind the cameras on Bowl TV. So for now, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back soon. So on behalf of the entire staff here at Circle Bowl, USBC team as well, Greg Moore, Kathy Waka, I'm Aaron Smith. We'll see you soon here on Bowl TV, 1 p.m. Eastern for double elimination match play. Thanks again.